All right, time now for today's Strawberry Letter. And if you need advice on relationships, dating, work, sex, parenting, and more, please submit your Strawberry Letter to steveharveyfm.com and click Submit Strawberry Letter. We could be reading your letter live on the air, just like we're going to read this one right here. Right now, it could be yours. You never know.
You never know. Buckle up and hold on tight. We got it for you. Here it is. Strawberry Letter.
Subject, she's in the middle, stirring up mess. Dear Steve and Shirley, I was in an emotionally abusive marriage for 8 years. I've been divorced for 2 years, and I'm trying to get on with my life. My ex-husband talked down to me and called me names, but I chalked it up to him being selfish and inadequate as a man. So I was able to be friendly toward him for the sake of our 8-year-old daughter. Until recently. He adores our daughter, and he got to keep the house in the divorce because he owned it outright. My daughter's room is still there as she left it, and I also left a lot of my personal belongings in the house because they wouldn't fit in my apartment. My grandmother's sewing machine and a lot of my family photo albums are a few of my prized possessions that I had to leave behind. We share custody of our daughter, and when I go to pick her up, he never invites me inside. My daughter got in the car Sunday and said her daddy was painting the house and put a lot of stuff in boxes so he could sell it. I asked her what was in the boxes, and she said it was a lot of my things. I called him when we got home and asked him if he was putting my things out. He said that it was time to rid his house of my junk, especially since I was with a new man now. I asked why he thought I had a new man, and he said that my daughter told him. He bragged that he and my child have an unbreakable bond, and she tells him everything. I thought I was dating discreetly, but apparently she's been listening to my conversations. I asked him if I could pick up my belongings soon, and he said no. He told me to focus on my new relationship and leave him alone. This is another form of abuse, and my daughter started all of this. What should I do now, and how can I get my stuff? Wow.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to go that way.
Okay. Come on now, Mom. You can't really be serious about blaming your daughter in this one. Don't you see what's happening here? I mean, your ex is clearly the culprit. He's the mean guy, and that's why you left him. That's the main reason you left him, because he was emotionally abusive to you and called you names and all of that. Remember, he said there was an unbreakable bond between him and your daughter, but I think what he's doing is, of course, manipulating your baby into telling him everything that you're doing. Your daughter's 8 years old. She doesn't know what he's doing, and she doesn't know any better because she's 8 years old. She's just a baby. She's just doing what her dad asks. So she's not messy, as your letter title suggests. She's just doing what her dad tells her to do. She sees nothing wrong with what she's doing. And as a matter of fact, he's probably got her thinking she's doing the right thing by going to him and telling him everything when he asks. So I say be careful, Mom, about what he's doing, and don't let him use your child to play you, because that's what it is. And so what if you are dating someone else? You can date. You're divorced 2 years now. You want your stuff. I honestly, because he's so petty and vindictive, don't know if he'll ever give you your things back. But I will say you could take your new man over there, and if he's selling this stuff, you can buy this stuff. He's just crazy and controlling, and takes pleasure in hurting and humiliating you. And he's used your daughter to help him do it. So I just say, to avoid that, you can let those things go if you can. I know they mean a lot to you, but this guy's so crazy. You may not want to bring all this drama into your life. And if you leave the stuff and let it go and make new memories, that way you don't have to interact with him about anything other than your daughter. Steve?
She's in the middle stirring up mess. An 8-year-old.
Really?
Really, lady, you're ridiculous this entire letter. And Shirley put it to you mildly, but I'm not. So I'm going to go down the letter and I'm going to show you what you've done this entire time. You've been divorced for 2 years. You're trying to get on with your life. It's 2 years. Get on with it. My ex-husband talked down to me and called me names, and I chalked it up to him being childish and inadequate as a man. Now, you said you were in an abusive marriage, emotionally abusive marriage. That's what you said. So you tried to remain friendly toward him for the sake of our 8-year-old daughter. Until recently, he adores our order and got to keep the house, divorced, all that, and they wouldn't. And now here's the part I'm starting to trip on. I left a lot of my personal belongings in the house because they wouldn't fit in my apartment. My grandmother's sewing machine. Oh, what? Nobody want no old sewing machine. You don't even sew. Next. And a lot of my family photo albums. How small is your apartment where the photo albums don't fit in it? I don't even understand what you leave this stuff over here. And a few of my prized possessions. If something has been somewhere sitting in a storage or his house for 2 years, how prized of a possession was it? I found that if I ain't seen or used something in 2 years, I probably don't need it. That's including that old raggedy sewing machine. I'm just being real with you now. We share custody of our daughter, and when I go pick up, he never invites me in. Well, why you want in there? Didn't you say he was abusive? But I think that's why you left the stuff over there, so you can have some type of little tie to get back in the house.
Besides the baby?
That's why you ain't moving on with your life. You done left all your stuff over there that's tying you to his life. Oh, I got something for you, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Hold on. We'll have part 2 of Steve's response coming up at 23 minutes after the hour. Subject, she's in the middle stirring up mess. We'll get back into it right after this.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Hey, it's Tommy, and this season, fill your home with more than decorations. Fill it with festive playlists, nostalgic films, and classic games that bring everyone together. With Sonos, the holidays come to life. With speakers that connect throughout your home, wrapping all your guests in rich, detailed sound. Because the best gift doesn't sit under the tree. It plays in every room. Spread joy that lasts long after the season. Explore Sonos soundbars, speakers, and more at Sonos.com. Once again, that's Sonos.com.
All right, come on, Steve. Let's recap today's Strawberry Letter. Subject, she's in the middle, stirring up mess.
This ridiculous woman is blaming an 8-year-old girl for stirring up mess in her house and relationship that don't exist. You don't even have a relationship. You said you were in an emotionally abusive marriage for 8 years. Your husband talked down to you, called you names, and you chalked it up to him being childish and inadequate. We'll come back to that in a minute. And then you tried to be friendly because of your daughter. Until recently, 8-year-old. He adores our daughter, kept a room in the house and everything, and you left some of your personal belongings in the house because they wouldn't fit in my apartment. Well, let's talk about the stuff you left that don't fit in the apartment. The sewing machine don't fit in the apartment. I bet it do. And how small of an apartment you got where you can't get a photo album in there? What you leave the photo album for? Because you're trying to have some ties to keep going over there, and I'm going to prove that to you in a minute. And a few of my prized possessions that I had to leave behind. Wait a minute. If you haven't seen this stuff or had possession of it in 2 years, how prized of a possession is it? I doubt it. We share custody of our daughter. When I go to pick up, he never invites me inside. It's his house. Y'all divorced. He don't like you and you don't like him. And what are you trying to go in this house of this abusive man for? My daughter got in the car Sunday and said her daddy was painting the house and put a lot of stuff in boxes and he could sell it. I asked her what was in the boxes. She said a lot of your stuff. I called him when I got home, and after he was putting my things out, he said it was time to rid his house of your junk, especially since I was with a new man now. I asked him why he thought I had a new man. He said my daughter told him. He bragged that he and my child have an unbreakable bond, and she tells him everything. Like Shirley said, he manipulates her into telling her everything. The baby is 8. How this grown man can't get information out of 8-year-old? She ain't a hostage. All you got to do is buy her some candy.
Ice cream.
A doll, and she started talking. But she don't even know she hurting you. She just telling her daddy the truth. I thought I was dating discreetly, but apparently she's been listening to my conversation. Well, you ain't dating discreetly. And she ain't been listening. You been talking in front of the baby. And what you tripping? You been divorced 2 years. You can date.
She can date.
Why you got to be discreet? Why are you holding on to something God has clearly gotten you out of, but you keep tying yourself back to the past by leaving all your prized possessions over there that ain't that prized after all? I asked him if I could pick up my belongings sooner. He said no. He told me I could pick up he told me to focus on my new relationship and leave him alone. This is another form of abuse, and my daughter started all of this. What should I do, and how can I get my stuff? Your daughter didn't start nothing. He was abusing you before y'all had the baby. And let me ask you something else. What makes you think he's still not verbally abusive? What, did it stop after the divorce? Because sound like he's doing it still. But now you blaming the 8-year-old baby. Stop blaming other people for your mistake. You picked this nut dude. Now you blaming the baby for it. The baby just got you as the mama and him as the daddy. It ain't her fault. Now, I'm with Shirley. He's probably manipulating her. So don't blame the girl. I've also found in my life that if I ain't used something in 2 years, I probably don't need it or miss it.
That's right, Steve.
And when I start looking in my cabinets and stuff like that, and I see stuff I ain't seen in a long time, I throw it away. Because it ain't that much. You hanging on to something that ain't nothing. Photo album, sewing machine. What?
Can't fit in there.
How old are you? Who got a photo album anyway? Where your iPhone at? The baby 8. The iPhone been out for years. All your pictures ought to be in iCloud. What did you got a photo album for? Who got a Polaroid? What? Lady, what?
Come on.
This letter is ridiculous from top to bottom. And you scared after 2 years to say you in a relationship?
That part, I really don't get that, Steve.
Lady, 2 years, you're supposed to be dating. Tell him so. I'm with Shirley. Tell your new boyfriend you need to go over there and pick up some stuff.
Yeah.
And all of this is because, didn't you say at the top of the letter, you chalked it up to him being childish and inadequate as a man. Don't you still see the childish and inadequate behavior acting out even now? But you gonna blame it on the real child that's 8 years old? Are you ridiculous, ma'am?
Yeah.
Don't nobody give a about your stuff.
But you
Really don't.
You made that clear.
you don't care about the sewing
Don't.
machine.
So, when last time you made something? I don't want to wear your little ragged clothes you make. And the baby sure don't want to wear it, so she probably helped with the sewing machine in the box.
Yes.
Lady, miss me and Shirley with this ridiculous letter you just wrote up. You need to grow up and stop acting childish and inadequate and forget that man that was abusive to you and go on live your life. You ain't gonna have no new man because you worrying about that photo album. Who got it? Where your iPhone?
Post your comments on today's Strawberry
Girl,
Letter
got a
at
photo
Steve
out.
Harvey FM on Instagram and Facebook. Check out the Strawberry Letter podcast on demand.
You're listening to the Steve Harvey Morning Show.